Hey guys, Reset Jet here. I'm sorry about the start here. Just got a whole lot going on in the house right now. But yeah, hey guys, welcome to the stream. This is kind of take two of what we tried to do yesterday. I was in the middle of recording and I realized that I had my camera just kind of go kaput on me there. So anyway, today we are going to be departing from Denver to Los Angeles as a United Flight 405. Put this up here. As yeah, United 405. Let's see. And pull up the paperwork here as well too. Looks like it's going to be an hour and it's almost 2 hours. 57 hour 57-minute flight time. Scheduled to depart here in another 25 minutes or so, which is a little bit tight, but you know, should be able to get out here on time. Schedule into LA at what is that? 10:44 local time, so 18:44. Looking at the weather here, it looks like it should be a pretty smooth flight the entire way down there. Headwinds for the most part, which is kind of par for the course for our direction of flight here. But that being said, let's go ahead and hop in the aircraft here. It is going to be the first flight of the day. Usually you're not going to find the aircraft cold and dark like this, but we will make it work. So yep, we get on board here, so let's go ahead and turn battery switch on. Standby power to auto. Flight attendant's already dinging us here. Bus tie switches should be on already, same as the utility buses, same as our left and right generators. AP gen as well too. We've already got external power. Actually, before we do that, landing gears down, flaps are up, alternate flaps norms, pre-brakes down. Good enough. Let's go ahead and turn power on. And I'm going to go ahead and turn these on. Actually, I think I have the quick start here, so it shouldn't take all that long. But let's go ahead and actually align this that way. We can do the first flight of the day items. First item here is a ground proximity warning system, which we can't test right now until the IRS aligns, so a few more seconds. Pretty sure I've got the quick align. Nope, guess not. 4 minutes. 3 minutes. Alright, well, that's, oh yeah, it is a quick align, so it's going a lot faster than normal. But while we're up here, let's go ahead and do the pilot monitoring duties here. So yaw dampers can come on. EECs should be to norm. We'll go ahead and close the guard. Left and right gen hydraulics can come and stay on. Electric system we've already done. The voice recorder can't be tested here. Emergency lights, we can arm those. Engine limiters on. I'll be taking this leg, so engine start to autos for our engine starters. Our fuel pumps, we can leave those off. Nav lights come on. Window heats on. Seat belts, no smoking signs on. Let's see here. Oh, tell you what, let's get rid of the paperwork. LA elevation is I think I noticed off the top of my head. LA is 126 feet, I believe. Load, import. excuse me, 128 feet. Either way, we will select 130 feet here. And system 1 and auto tune, or auto rate rather, to that little arrow right there. Door would be open at this point, but it doesn't really matter that much here. Pack switches, auto for the most part. Trimmer on, left recirc fan on, isolation valve on, and this is a little unrealistic, but just to get the air system to work, you actually have to turn the pack on. In the real world, the air would just be blowing on, you wouldn't have to turn that on there, but that's what we need to do here. Flight directors for the MCP can come on, attitude, or the autothrottle rather, can be armed. Other flight director, let's see, go over to my side, lights, we're good. Test this oxygen mask, and let's see how much oxygen we've got here. 1746, that should work. In the real world, I jot that number down, but don't really care here. Alright, let's see what our altimeter setting is going to be. Meters 3024. About 1,000 feet. Slide on over to the center pedal or panel right here. Auto brakes to RTO. I'll go ahead and set the skipper's side. To 3024, right? Yeah, 3024. 3024 on this side as well, and we'll log roughly 1,000 feet there as well. Alright, moving down, we'll go ahead and zero out the radio altimeters here. Let's test the weather system on my side, captain's side, and we're just looking for the rainbow pattern there. Rainbow pattern on my side. If you had the weather radar in the center as well, you'd be looking for that. And if we had the predictive wind shear, we would get the oral warning for that right now as well too, but we don't, so we'll turn that off so weather works well. And then radios, let me log on to VATSIM real quick here. I don't think we've got anyone online. Let's see. Pre-file. Yeah, it doesn't look like anyone's online, but that's fine with me. Yeah, let's see. 56. Alright, so as far as the workload goes for the pilot monitoring, that's pretty much it. Again, since the IRS is up and running here, let's go ahead and do the first flight of the day test items. So back here in the P61 panel, we'll test the ground proximity warning.
Glide slope. Terrain, pull up, sink rate. Pull up, Terrain.
And we would test the takeoff config as well too, but again, if you've seen my tutorial, you know it doesn't work quite the way it's supposed to. We actually move the throttles forward here, and we should get the flaps and parking brake warnings. And since it did that, now I'll have to reset the utility buses, because again, that's not how we test it in real world. But takeoff config's tested. TCAST doesn't work the way it's supposed to here, but it's tests get the traffic at least. So you get the symbols, but you don't get the oral for some reason. But TCAS has been tested. Flight deck access system, so that again is like a security thing. We just have to make sure the door locks the way we need it to. Fire warning test. So again, just kind of my technique. I'll cancel out all the ICAS cautions here, and then it gives me just a clean slate to take a look at the warnings here. So we'll do the wheel wall again, looking for 5 lights, and it's gonna be pretty quick here. But there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that's good enough. And then engine, APU, cargo. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It goes too fast, but those light up, that light up, lights up, and everything lights up except for the caution messages we're missing on here. So that's good enough. Standby power. So all we are going to do here is we'll turn the standby power to battery. We're looking for this discharge light. It works, so that goes back to auto. And then the observer oxygen mask, which is the last thing we would test, and that would be it. Everything else is just like redundancy. So looking for like a spare iPad case, and oh man, I forget what else is on that list, but there's actually a whole list of the items that should be placarded here, but it's not something that's simulated on here. So anyway, that being said, looks like that is it for the first part of the day items. Now all I need to do here is, as a pilot flying, is plug in our what do you call it, flight plan. Now we're a little bit spoiled in the real world. We log on to ACARS, and all of this information uploads to us automatically. We just have to what do you call it? Just make sure that it correlates to our paperwork. So let's see here. Red Fisher, if you're still online, the aircraft, unfortunately it's the only thing that we've got, and I think any sim. I'm not sure what's available for P3D, but it is the only 7.5 that we've got right now. And my impression is it does the job. There are some quirks that aren't exactly as accurate as the real world aircraft, but for what it is, it does a decent job. It gets you to from A to B as real, I guess, as the real airplane does. I mean, again, it's got its quirks here and there, and I think the model itself is not. It could be better. I guess just to kind of sum it up, it could be better, but it works for what we've got. Zachary. All right, we're gonna go direct to cheese. Jesus. And back 88 to Hackman. And from here it is going to be the Angel. Angel 4, Hackman. left. And that should be from Circus, I believe. Hackman to Circus, yeah. Alright, let's take a look at what we've got here. Let's just step through this real quick. Alright, looks good. And let's see, preliminary, actually let's go ahead and load the aircraft up here, so full boat, almost, actually, well, yeah, I guess full boat at 226 cargo weight, so let's go ahead and make these numbers match here. So my zero fuel weight on the paperwork is showing 200.5. Let's see, currently 2005 minus 95810, so add another 10. 767. How's that? Perfect. And then our fuel weight is going to be looking for 25,378. And 25, just round it up to 400. And let's go and optimize this. 27, that works. And the doors closed. Alright, let's see. Flight level 340. Let's see here, cost index is going to be, let's go 80. Whoops. Alright, let's see, zero fuel weight, and then reserves. Oh, let's see here, 3.8. Alright, how's that look here? So we should be landing with, paperwork says 9.1 ish, so 9.4, that's close enough for me. And I'm gonna hop into sim brief real quick here and see if I can get some performance data. So let's see, United Airport, K-Den, runway 25. And let's see, takeoff weight is 225.5, 2255. I'll just round it up to 99. And let's go with flaps 15. Let's see what that gives us here. Alright, I think I like that, so let's go with flaps 15. D rate of 30. Actually seems kind of high. How about let's go with 35 here. That's a little better. 35. CG is 3.8, and I'm just going to use these numbers here. 42, 451, 61. 61's up here, RMV nav, null nav, and according to our SID, Connor 7 top altitude is going to be 23,000 feet. So once that is all done here, let me go ahead and put this back to the map page. We would have our clearance by this point. So we would just read the clearance off once we verified that the clearance is in fact what we've got plugged into the box here. Then the pilot line is going to brief the pilot monitoring. So let's see weather. I'll pull up Navigraph for you guys here. Alright, so currently in Denver, winds are out of the east at 9 knots, VFR pretty much all day, and meters 3024. I've been cleared out of Denver via the Connor 7, so we'll push back from gate 25 here. We'll take the standard route to 3 west, and take golf all the way down runway 25. 25 is 12,000 feet of concrete. I'm assuming. I'm not actually sure where that. Don't think I've got that information on here. Doesn't matter. It's 12,000 feet runway. It's going to be on F to foams at or below 10,000 feet, then Tavern all the way up to Werner. We've got a 250 knot limit, or accelerate to 250 knots, reaching 10,000. If you can't get there, then we've got problems, and we'll let the tower know. And just for situational awareness, the minimum safe altitude is 10,200 feet here. So that's it for the brief. Go ahead and get rid of that guy. So at this point, let's go ahead and run the before takeoff. I'm sorry, getting ahead of myself here. The pre-flight checklist. So my pre-flight checklist says interior and exterior inspection has been completed. Circuit breakers checked. Takeoff warnings checked. Force recorder is set. Fuel panel is set. Passenger signs are on. Pressure position panel is set. Equipment cooling panel is set. Mode control panel is set. Windows are closed and locked. Oxygen mask was checked. Instrument source selectors are checked. Altimeters got 3024. That is cross-checked. Altimeters, I just read that. Flight nav instruments are checked. Reserve brakes, it's off. Standby flight instruments have been checked. Head and reference switch is warm. Ground proximity override switches are off. Flight instrument that is not installed. ICAS is checked. Parking brake is set. Thrust levers. Alrighty, go ahead and log into Virtual United here real quick. And show root, enter that guy. Come on, copy text. Sheesh. Enter. There we go. That's him. Alright, good go. Alright, so APU is up and running here. Go ahead and disconnect ground power. APU, come on. And let's go ahead and disconnect everything else here real quick. Good night, that is loud. Alright, let's go ahead and start.
Hey, Captain, let me know where you want this thing. Great news, Captain. Your tow's coming.
Alright. Once we get the all clear from the flight attendants here and the gate agent, we'll close the door. And let's turn the autopilot on. Captain's gonna go through their flow, so beacon on, close door, few pumps on, AP or hydraulics on, and I'll go ahead and start turn the right recirc fan on and run through the pre-flight checklist. Pre-flight checklist, doors are closed, air conditioning panel is, or hydraulic panel is set, fuel panel is set, flight the door is closed.
Alright, looks like the doors and hatches are closed and we're ready to connect.
Pushback check is complete. I'll get rid of this guy here. And we're departing somewhat on time.
Welcome aboard, Captain. Tow's connected, bypass pins inserted. Go ahead and kill the parking brake when you're ready to go. Here comes the pushback. Light them up.
Off. Trims 3.8. We'll go ahead and set that now. Close enough. Uh-oh. I think we forgot the chocks. Sure did. Boop. Alright, so boss man down there already gave us the okay to start the engine, so APU bleed off, backs off, APU bleed back on, and start the left side first, and let's start my clock here. There's swing 5%. We'll go all the way to run. Alright, that looks like a good enough start to me. We'll go ahead and start the right side here.
Just about done here. Go ahead and set your parking brake. And we're disconnecting the tow. Give me just a moment.
Alright, temps are still coming up, but that looks like a good enough start for both engines. Gens are running, so AP can come off. Any ice is not required. We've got no fuel in the center tanks here. AP bleed off, isolation valve off. What do you call it? Left and right. Engine bleeds on, and then we can turn it back on. Come down here, recall, check. Auto brakes are ready, RTO, and flaps can go down to 15.
And we're disconnected. Signal and pin on the right. Take it easy and have a safe flight.
After start checklist, engine anti-ice is off, air conditioning panel is set, recall check, auto brakes RTO, after start check is complete. And sounds like buddy is off and away. Alright, so let's go ahead and run through the taxi checklist real quick while we're down here. Go ahead and test. That's backwards. Okay. So, I'm using right rudder right now, but that display is backwards. But it looks fine outside because this is right rudder. You know what? It is what it is. Alright. Full up. Left. Full right. Alright, good enough for me. Let's go ahead and get moving here while we run a taxi checklist. So we are clear on the right, clear on the left, parking brake is released. So let's get going. Doesn't look like anyone's online, but I'll still make a call here. Let's see. Get my radios to work. Denver traffic, United 405, lead taxi and runway 25 via Alpha November, Golf at Denver. Alright, we'll slide on over to the left side here. Seth, I appreciate it, bud. It's been quite the process to try to get this thing to get my computer where it's where I like it enough to be comfortable enough to go live. But yeah, I appreciate it. All right, where's the line? There's the line. Alright, let's run through the taxi checklist real quick. So, flaps are 15. I want to verify that in 3 places. So, up here in the dial, 15 here, 15 in the box, and 15 in the lever itself. So, 15, 15, and 15 takeoff speeds. We've got 142, 151, 161. Let's get us lined up here real quick. 161. And then the big numbers are 182 and 222. And that is cross-check. Thrust is 35. Trim is 3.8. 0 on the yoke. And 0 on the rudder. Close enough. Let's figure out where we're going here. Where's golf? That should be hotel. And last but not least, flight controls have been checked. Taxi check is complete. Clear on the right, and left here. Alright, so once we know how we're getting to the end of the to our departing runway here, we'll do a quick departure brief, and that just kind of is a summary of what we've already talked about from the SID, from our initial departure briefing. So we'll just go through the box real quick and say, all right, so still going to LA off runway 25. It's going to be the Connor 7 departure, RNAV to or Tavern transition. That's not right. It's the Werner. Werner transition. RNAV to foams. We'll be using LNAV and VNAV up to 23,000 feet. And first limit here is we've got foams that are below 10,000 feet. And no speed limits. That's it. And if the flight attendants haven't called us already, I would get on the comm and tell them to sit down. In this case here, tell them to do stick off.
Cabin crew.
This airport's so big, it's ridiculous. Alrighty, pretty close to the runway end here. Let's go ahead and run the before takeoff checklist. Runway position. We've got, right here, 25 inside, runway 25 outside. Let's see, flaps are 15 and 15. Navigation briefing has been completed. Transponder is now TARA. Flight attendants have been notified and acknowledged. Packs are auto before takeoff check is complete. And let's see here, plenty of time. So preferably we'd like 3 minutes for our engines to have warmed up. And we've got more than, I'm sure we've got more than enough time there. I know I started it when we actually started the engines there, but should have plenty of time for our engines to get warmed up. Alright, I'm pretty sure no one is landing on runway 25. So we'll go ahead and make a quick announcement here and get the hell out of here. Denver traffic. United 405 is departing runway 25 towards the west. Last call at Denver. Alright, lights. Camera. Alright, action. Oh yeah, the Dash 300. This is the legit flying pencil. Alrighty, timer's on. Let's see if we can get this line up here. Meh. That'll work. Alrighty, 1.1 E per real quick. Close enough. EPA. It's 80 knots, throttle, thrust normal. I'm all over this area right now. This is V1. Rotate. Pause the rate, gear up. LNAV is active. That's pretty darn steep for 300. This EPR VNAV speed at 1,000 feet. Trim that nose down a little bit here. Alright, flaps to 5. Wow, that's actually pretty, that's very accurate right there. You go to from 15 to 5 and it's a real like nose down like action there. Alright, let's go flaps up. Keep trimming that nose up. Tell you what, go ahead and turn the autopilot on here. Put it in the flight director. A little trim down. Good enough. Autopilot's on. You know what? I never played around with like send up this guy. Alright, after takeoff checklist. After takeoff checklist, let's see, flaps are up, land gear is up and off, APU is off, backs are auto, any ice is off. After takeoff checklist speed. There's 10,000 feet. At or below it foams, so it's going to level off here. It's going to accelerate again. Alright, for 10. I think the flight attendant's here. Hey, how about that? Terrain actually works for me. Let's see what Bob wants.
Sir, I think you might have forgotten about the cabin safety routine.
Okay. Okay. Safety. Done. Let's turn this down a little bit here. Yeah, the 300 it's nice, but I prefer the 200s honestly. The 3 is a little bit too long for my liking, and it's pretty challenging to land as well too, just because it's so long. I've actually been pretty curious how similar it is to the 7.3 or the 777 300, because it seems to land pretty flat as well too, and yeah, I don't know. I've always found it really challenging to land this airplane, but it's fun to fly. It's, compared to the 200 though, it's a pig. It doesn't climb out. I mean, we've got a full boat today, and I mean this low, it's relatively cold outside. Yeah, there's some points where you can probably get 3,000 feet per minute climb on it, but once you start getting into the 20s, it takes it a minute or two to get up to cruising altitude. All right, here's 18 grand. Go ahead and set these guys as standard. And run our climb checklist. Climb checklist. Altimeters 2992. Cross check. Climb check is complete. Let's turn these lights off as well. And we are on our way, guys. Actually forgot to set our cruise 340. Tell you what, I'm actually kind of impressed with the shadows here on XP right now. I still prefer Flight Sim, but it's actually not too bad. Dude, 100%. Like, I keep looking at Bluebird's website just to see if there's any news or any change or anything like that. But yeah, I can't wait for that bird to come out. Yeah, I hear you. It took me, like, once I knew I was going to be on this fleet a couple of months ago, it took me a minute to, like, decide if I really wanted to go back into XP and install all this stuff, just because I mean, when Flight Sim came out, man, I abandoned this sim. Like, didn't install anything, didn't update anything, and but yeah, once I knew I was going to be on the 7.5 again, I was like, you know what, it's a good enough platform for me to go ahead and start learning flows and stuff like that. So I came back on here and had to figure out the whole ortho thing, and thankfully they've got auto ortho now, and it's working out. I mean, it works. I don't know what the difference is. All I know is it's installed, so like it looks good enough for me right now. So, but yeah, cannot wait for Bluebird to come out. Ortho now, it's working out. I mean, it works. I don't see much of the West Coast as I would like to. I kind of like the East Coast flying, just because the trips are a little bit shorter and a little bit closer to home. But when I do get to go out towards the West Coast, man, it's always been pretty scenic, and it's always nice to get a little bit of a change of view, I guess. Let's see. So we got one to go before our top of climb here. Let's see what paperwork says we're supposed to have. Can you hear me now? I'm sorry you guys have to deal with like me trying to figure all this stuff out here, but trying to get all the mic or the mouse clicks out of the way and figure out what works here or not. But yeah, let me know if this is a little bit better. I'm sorry, you guys have to deal with beautiful. Trying to figure all this stuff out here. Let's see. So I was saying, so top of climb just before Werner, and top of climb says 20,000 even more or less. Let's see, 20.5, so a little up ahead on fuel. And I know I didn't program the winds in here, so that's gonna change here. We're supposed to land with 9.1 more or less, so that works. It's always nice to be ahead of fuel. Yeah, they're not too bad. Oh, you know what? So, unfortunately for my family here, for the next couple of days, I'm gonna be on call for, man, I think it's like a 9-day straight like stretch. Obviously I can't fly the entire for all 9 days here, but I do not have a schedule yet. Oh, they just updated it, so I've actually got to be on short call for tomorrow. We've got some trips on open time though, so probably won't be flying anywhere tomorrow, but Saturday and then up until shoot the next Saturday I'll probably be in the air quite a bit. Let's see what kind of trips they've got here. Orlando, Seattle, Frisco overnight. Never been to San Francisco actually. Yeah, tell me about it. And what's funny is it's built into their schedule, because I don't understand why the company does it like this, because you can't work for like more than 5 or 6 days in a row, right? Just the part what is it, the 119 rules, 117 rules. So I don't even know why this is like even allowed, because at some point they're gonna like assign me rest. So it's like, if you guys are gonna do that, why even bother allowing 9 days in a row? So anyway, just sitting here whining about it. I know I won't be able to fly all 9 days, but it just kind of sucks knowing I won't be able to go home, probably. Oh well. I do have some pretty sweet looking trips on here though. San Jose, Orange County, never been there before. Frisco 76, that'd be nice. It's been, so I've got like 330 some odd hours on the type, and only 30 of those have been on 7.6, so I don't get to see the 7.6 as often as I would like to these days. It's kind of sucks. No, it's not on short call. I know I'll be on short call for tomorrow, but there's a good chance I'll probably get something assigned on the 21st or 22nd, because there are like too many trips that are open, and I'm pretty sure I'm probably gonna be like the first person on the list for reserve too. So there's no way I'm not gonna get assigned one of these trips. And I would put something here in open time. Actually, I have put something here in yellow time in open time. I'm trying to get these Orlando overnight so I can be home, but it doesn't always work out. Wouldn't be too bad going somewhere I haven't been before. No thanks. Yeah, it sure is. Let's see what the real world weather actually. I mean, this is what it is, but let's see what aviation. Oh yeah, it's like stupid clear in the West Coast right now. Prague chart. Yeah, there's a massive high pressure system in the in like Colorado, Utah, and Nevada. Oops, sorry folks. Put that to auto. Let's see here, temperature is good. Oh. One other thing that we could do here is just kind of take a look, see at what our oxygen, it looks good. The only way we can tell if we've got a leak is by taking a look at that number. And like I said, I'm going to test the system at the beginning of the flight. I'll write the number down just so during cruise you can take a look at the number here and see if it's changed by more than 100. If it has, then it's a good chance we've got a leak somewhere. So it's the only way we can check to see if we've got a leak.
United 58, Salt Lake Center on guard. If you hear the transmission, contact Salt Lake Center 125.57.
That's pretty neat. I didn't know anybody uses guard. I think I'm in Salt Lake Center. Close. So is that 2020 or 2024? Say that again. I can get it. Relatively. Good for you, dude. Like, I have been, I was looking into it before it came out, and, you know, see the trailers and whatnot. I'm like, okay, that's cool. Oh, you got a career, thing. All right, that's nice. Like, I was intrigued, but like not to the point where I was like, okay, it's just like a day one purchase for me. And then of course, you know, it's the day of, and I'm sitting at home, I'm watching Blues and XP, you know, gets on and he's interviewing a couple other people, and V1, I'm like, okay, I think I'm gonna buy this thing. And sure enough, I hopped on it, and I might have, I think I've played, or I should say I've loaded it for maybe 20 minutes. Like, I'm struggling to get the settings down, and like I get so discouraged when I try and like control stuff on there just because it's so different, and it's just not working for me right now. So kind of I was telling my wife earlier, it's kind of one of those purchases where I'm like, you know what, this could have waited.
Center, good morning, Delta 754, 30 miles west of the Alamos, if you are, follow 330.
Delta 754, your rate of flight does not touch my airspace. Frequency changes.
Up to.
Yeah, like I'm intrigued about the career stuff and some of the like quote unquote missions, but it seems like such a headache right now to get it up and running that I'm like, I'll wait till, I don't know, patches come out or I get an upgrade or something in my system. There's nothing intimidating about me. Wait. Hey guys, I'll be right back. I need to go grab some lunch for my wife here, so and myself actually. So I will actually be right back. Gotta log offline too. Whew. Sorry about that, guys. My wife and I, we've got some organizers in our kitchen right now, in our laundry room, like the pantry, reorganizing all our stuff in there, so can't really go in there and make lunch. And my wife is like 34 weeks pregnant. I'm like, well, you're not gonna drive if I can help it, so I had to go grab some lunch for us there real quick. But yeah, sorry about that. I was getting really nervous that we got close to the top of descent, and I'd still be up here at 34,000. So let's see, about 80 miles out. Still got plenty of time here, so to get ready for the approach. Yeah, John, it's, I'm actually pretty surprised at like the shadows and whatnot. I'm not sure what upgrades they've made to X-Plane here, but it's not too bad. I mean, it works. If you were to ask me, I still say that 2020 is kind of like the maybe 2024 is all too. I don't know. I don't really play all that often, but I'd say 2020's got the whole like environment stuff like beat. I think it's the best sim right now out there. But yeah, you got to use XP12 unfortunately if you want to fly to 7.5. So there's that. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and get ready for this approach because it's probably gonna creep up on us here faster than I would like. And let's hop back onto that sim. Let's see, and we are in LA Center right now. Alright, so we are on the Angel 4. Let's pull this up for you guys so you can see what I'm looking at here. Alright, after I don't even know how I say this.
Good morning.
Go to Hackman,
India 007.
then Shatner, Smash, Sally,
Air India 007, solid clearance.
Gleason. So let's get off of Salt Lake here. Gleason, then Gleason's supposed to be 280 between 30 and 24. I'm not sure why that's not in the box already, but we can program that in here real quick. Oops. 24 above and 30 below. Good enough, I guess. Angel between 24 and 19. None of these in here. That's really weird. 19 above and what is it? 24 below. Then Can above 17, Boyle above 14, Circus between 14 and 12, above at 270, 12, above 14 below. And then that should connect nice and neatly to 25 left. Approach Circus to their Circus to Crane. Tarot Dymo Fueler Gate. So all that's in here. DA is going to be 304. Close enough. Put that on the skipper side as well too. Let's see. 109.9. Actually, I don't think this works the way it's supposed to. So front approach score is 251. Put that back in there again later. Alrighty. And that should be it. Oh, actually, last thing is auto brakes. We'll go to auto brakes too. And then we were supposed to land with 9.1. We've got 11.8 on board right now, so that's what, 2.7 from our gross weight. 2.7 public math is very scary. 2.7, that is 209.7, I think. Oh, hell. It's close enough anyway. Let's get rid of the graph. It's 2.7-ish. So this should be our final approach speed, and I will go with flaps 25. So our ref is going to be 139. Okay, not sure why it's going 138. Flaps 25 slash 139. Thank you. And we'll use this up here as our reference. 139 plus 5, 144. So that's what we'll use for our final approach speed. I bugged out on this side as well too. Alrighty, so that being done, let's go ahead and brief really quick. Pull up that graph again. So NOTAMs don't apply because it is flight sim and nothing's broken and everything works. So NOTAMs don't apply. Weather-wise, we are looking at winds from the south-southeast, light winds at 3 knots, few clouds at 600, sky at 16,000, temperature 17 meters, it's going to be 30, 14. Go ahead and put that in here and standby. 3014, and going into LA on the Angel 4 RNAV, which we've just checked all the fixes here. Do have a speed restriction of 280 knots on the descent, so we'll go ahead and plug that in to 80. What's our Mach right now? 81. So 280.81, so that on the transition, the airplane didn't take 81 for some reason, but on the transition it should slow it to 280 knots, and it's already doing it right now, and I don't know why. Okay, and let's put the limit of 250 knots at 10,000 feet here as well. Alright, so let's get back in here. So we've got the speed limit of 280 knots on the transition for the approach itself. Once we get clear to descend, I guess we can, realistically, we can probably go all the way down to, what's the final approach fix here, to 19. Wow, we can probably set 1900 for GG, because it should be in the word here again, it should follow the VNAV and the path all the way down to GG at 1900. So you know, I'm just going to set 1900 once we get cleared for the descent, which we will because we've got no ATC. So for the approach itself, it's going to be on 11-7. It's going to be a visual back up the ILS 109.9. Final approach force is 251. GG at 1900. Barrow is going to be 304. Min safe to the north 7,700 feet, to the west 43, to the southeast 2,800 feet. With auto brakes too, we should, you know what lights we have here. We've got ASLF2 Pappy's right side. It is it's an 11,095 foot long run. Plan for a right turn off. Probably Hotel 7. Plan across to 5 right at Juliet, and then we'll take Charlie to Terminal 7 and pick a gate down there. I already said we'll use auto brakes too. Ref is going to be 139 with flaps 25. And it should have cleared itself out here. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Alright. Let's clear this out here. And we've got about 30 miles to go for top of the about 4 minutes-ish. We'll probably start to descend a little bit early. Stillness to reset MCP altitude, so let's go ahead and do that. I said we'd set 1900 for GG. And we'll go ahead and descend now so it doesn't take a dive when it catches the path here. So it should descend at about, what, 1200 feet per minute? And then we can go to progress page 2 to see just how far off the track we're getting here. Alright, here comes the path. signs on here as well too. Alright, looks like it's capturing the path. While we're high, I'll go ahead and set our altimeter here to 3014, so... Oh, you know what? So even though I've got the transponder on the second transponder here, it's not using my transponder for the altimeter setting here, so that's why it didn't change our VNAV path like it does here when I change the captain side. So that's now why we're above it, which is not how it works, but you know, it is what it is. There's idle, VNAV, speed. Go ahead and cycle drag required. Sure about that? 280 knot. Oh, jeez. Doing some flight sim things here again. Alright, speed brakes coming out. Yeah, good timing, Seth. Alright, so speed brakes out. Which is unfortunately not uncommon in this aircraft. Both the Dash 300 and the 200s are really fast airplanes. Some more than others, like you really have to pull the boards out often on some airplanes. Some are, the VNAV actually calculates the path pretty well, but sometimes the airplane's like, nah, I can't do this. I can't go down and slow down at the same time too, so gotta use the boards often in this airplane. What was I doing before? Oh yeah, so I mentioned the transponder was the second source. So let's see, 3014. So yeah, I guess we're good to go. And it is on the path. Alright, we're back on the Jazz here. Alright, we're looking good. Gleason 280 knots between 24 and 30. Up next is Angel between 24 and 19. And at some point during the descent here, I already turned the seatbelt signs on. We'll push the recall button, and this button here, this in the event record, it's not simulated, and realistically in the real world, you push it like you can't ever tell you pushed it. All it does is just take a snapshot of all the engine parameters here, and I don't know what maintenance does with it, but it just takes a snapshot for them, and they can look at it while we're idle up here at altitude. So I guess just something to do just to monitor the engine's parameters and whatnot. Tell you what, coming into LA to zoo never gets old. I don't know if it's ever not been bumpy on the descent going past these mountains over here. Every time. Alright, coming up to the transition level here. Actually, I'm going to turn this back down. Through transition level, run through our descent checklist. Altimeters 3014 is cross-check minimums. Barrel is 304, that is cross-checked. Landing data. We are going to go once again with flaps 25, ref is 139, that is cross-check. Approach briefing is complete, auto brakes 2 set, seatbelt signs are on, pressurization panel is set, and recall was checked, descent check is good. Cross can at or above 17,000. Good deal. Oil above 14, circus 270, 12, and 14. There's Ontario. So I don't know if it's just because our airplanes are old or what, but there's a company note in our iPads that says specifically for the 7.5 and the 7.6, select the localizer prior to the intermediate fix, which for us today is going to be Honda for 2.5 left, and I think it says if the local app is selected past the IF while in LNAV, a left bank will occur to intercept the localizer. So this thing just doesn't, I guess it doesn't play well with LNAV and go into localizer mode. And now what do we do when we were slowing to 270 knots? A circus. Not sure why our bug hasn't moved down to 270 yet. Alright, airplane, figure it out. Speed brake's coming out. I'm not sure why it's doing what it's doing right now. It's slowed to 270 knots like it should have, but the speed bug here, the dial itself didn't go back, and it should have. Well, got the boards out anyway, so hopefully that'll solve that guy. Alright, it's on the path now, and the bug itself should go down to 250 knots because we are, and it's not going to. We're going to go below 10,000 feet, and for some reason it's just deciding to blow right past it, so board's out. Close the window here. Alright, there it goes. For some reason it's back at 240. Even though I said on here, speed restricted to 250 knots, which should delete that guy. I don't know why I just now did it. Alright. Well, window's going open, and I'm going to select 250 knots here. Because it's not listening for some reason. And we're below 10,000 feet, so let's go ahead and set ILS frequency. Just want to verify real quick. Actually, we're supposed to run the approach checklist, so may as well do that. Approach checklist, let's go ahead and verify. Flight nav instrument, so we're going to verify 109.9 here, 109.9 here, and on the chart it says 109.9, and we're doing 260 knots. Figure it out, girl. Alright, spoilers are retracted. Alright, well, that's verified. Cabin notification. Taking a flight attendants. I'll let them know I need to sit down, and altimeter's 3014 is cross-checked. Approach checklist complete. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and slow the bird down here because I'm not sure what she's supposed to be or what she is doing. We'll do 230 knots for now. I'll leave the speed brakes up because even though we're above the path right now, glide slope's saying we're below it, so it's gonna dive for the path and keep us fast. Board's coming out. Let's see, yep, nobody is online here, so I'll just make a call out about 15 miles out. slow to 210 knots here. We'll get 1 notch of flaps out. Alright, so 10 knots below our limit is kind of what we use to set our flaps here. So 245, 135, all below that, flaps 1. And so long as we set flaps 1 at or below or above that speed, we should be fine here. Alright, let's go and extract this guy, and I'll tell you what, just go ahead and arm the spoilers now. 225 for flaps 5, and 250 knots. Why not? Let's use flaps 5, and there's Honda. Let's go ahead and select vertical speed -5, arm the approach mode, and localizer is active. Glide slope is captured, so let's select our missed approach altitude, which I never did brief. 2,000 feet. Alright, 2,000 feet is set there. Let's slow to 180 knots now. And we'll do 180 all the way down to GG. Roughly about 15 miles out here. LA traffic, United 405's on a 15, 50 mile final for 25 left at LA. Turn 10 knots, we're on the glide slope and we can't slow down, which is par for the course. On the glide slope, this thing really does have a hard time slowing down with anything less than flaps 15. So, spoilers. Once again. $215 knots for flaps 15. We're 10 and plus going below that, flaps 15. Is set. Retracted them. Thank you. LA traffic, United 405 is on a 10 mile final for 25 left at LA. Alright, flaps 20, speed is 205. Radio altimeter is alive, so let's go ahead and select gear down, flaps 20. Alright, half a mile from GG. Ref of 144, and we should be well above. At 190, flaps 25. The landing checklist. Landing gear is down, flaps 25, 25 down here, and speed brake is armed. You're clear to land. Landing check's complete. Let's have some fun here. I'll go ahead and disconnect the auto throttle. Figure out where my throttles are. Throttles are blocked. Unblock them. Thank you. And let's disconnect the autopilot. 1,000 feet, clear to land. Missed approach altitude is set. So one difference between the sim here and the real world, this airplane, you're going to be using a lot, and I mean a lot, of nose-up trim on the approach. It's usually going to be more than like 8 units.
500.
Sometimes it's even more. Anyway, 500 feet. And unlike the 200, where about 30 feet you can just bring the power to idle, this one, it's kind of like the 7.6. You just basically fly it all the way down to the runway. And I'm a little bit on the fast side.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Power to idle. Speed brakes up. Reverse. Sure, why not? Idle reverse. Not sure why my reverse wasn't working other than idle. There's 80 knots. We'll go ahead and stow it and take this high speed here. Let's see, where are we? Hey, Hotel 7. It's almost like Atlantis. Alright. After landing checklist, flaps up. Out there. Trim's already reset. Let's go ahead and cancel this guy out. And let's stop right here. Retractive speed brakes. Oh, that one's taken off. LA traffic, United 405s, crossing to 5 right at Julia, taxiing to the ramp at LA. Clear on the left here. We're going to turn. Squeak. And turn our landing lights off. Running turn off. And one thing I did forget, I should have started my clock for 3-minute cooldown. Start the APU. Let's go to Terminal 7 here. Yeah, John, if only my landings were that good in the real world. Especially in this airplane. 200's easy to get a good landing, not this one. Yep, turn the flight directors off as well. Here, off. It's 59, Terminal 6. Alright, this is us. Let's go ahead and slow down here. And we'll just park right here. APU's up and running. Let's go ahead and kick our APU bleeds off. Or engine bleeds off. APU and ISO can come on. Okay, no guidance there, it looks like. Let's just... Whoa. Alright, parking brake set. Parking brake set. Before I shut it down here, let's go ahead and take a look at that replay. Oh, yeah, good idea. Let's disconnect from that. And action. So for the longest time, I thought we were supposed to land at Flaps 30. That's what they kind of taught us in the sim. And then in the real world, I had the last line check pilot told me, no, you can land with it. Like Flaps 25 is just like a 200. You get a little bit of a flare, just like the 200. Whereas if you were to land at 30, it's a lot more flat and a little bit harder for me anyway to kind of get it on quite as easily. But hey, I'll take this landing any day. Working that rudder a whole lot though. It's gonna be really uncomfortable in the back. Let's take a look at what am I doing here. Take a look at that in the back. Hey, we'll take it. Alrighty. airplane. I don't hate it, but I can tell my little girls it's not my favorite. Squeaky. Alrighty, let's exit this guy. And parking brake set. Let's go ahead and shut her APUs running, right? Yep, APUs running. So, and load them up. Hydraulics. Fuel pump switches off. And I turn that guy off. And transponder. Alright, shutdown checklist. Parking brake is set, hydraulic panel is set, fuel pump switches off, seatbelt signs off, engine anti-ice is off, fuel control switches are cut off, transponder is standing by, red anti-collision light is off, shutdown checklist complete. Alright guys, that is going to do it for me today. Unfortunately, I can only do the one leg. Got to figure out how to get to work tomorrow, but definitely keep an eye out for more streams. Like I said, I've got this 9-day stretch here, so I'm not entirely sure when I'll be back on here, but hell, maybe even tomorrow. I'm not entirely sure, but yep, keep a lookout for more streams here. I think I could probably get more content out if I do live streams and do videos where I have to produce it and then edit it afterwards. So keep an eye out for more videos. But hey, thanks guys for tuning in. Appreciate it, John. Have a good one.